Chapter 11. Know when it's time to hang it up. Knowing when to retire is difficult for any athlete or business person. You have to give up so much and start another life. But making that decision and sticking to it is one of the most rewarding decisions you will ever have to make in your life. I encourage people to look at this moment as starting a new season in a different game. Bill Russell. A question you are probably asking yourself right now after reading the title of this chapter and the opening quote is, how can you tell me to let go of something right after you just told me to overcome adversity, hold an L, and embrace failure? Sounds backwards, right? Trust me, it isn't. Only when an endeavor has the potential to improve your life should you continue to pursue it, even if you fail repeatedly at it. If what you are pursuing does nothing to add to your life, but instead only takes away from it, then it's necessary to let it go. Again, remain steadfast in pursuing the things that will bring you happiness and allow you to live your best life. However, let go of the things that are holding you back from the life you're meant to live. As humans, we have a habit of remaining in our revisiting situations that no longer serve our best interest, but instead bring us more pain than peace. We tend to cling to the things we are holding us back. It is in our nature to want what we want when we want it, even if those wants and desires fall outside God's much better plan for us. Then we wonder why we can never get to the next phase of our lives. Find the courage and let go of the things you cannot change and leave behind that which no longer adds value to your life. Whether it is a job, a romantic relationship, a friendship, an academic track, a sport, or any other endeavor, when something does not bring you joy, nor do you see consistent improvement in that area, even after putting forth your best effort, then it's time for you to move on. Your sanity and your well-being are not worth sacrificing. The longer you stay in situations that do not bring you happiness, the more likely you are to block the blessings that are waiting for you on the other side of those situations. Some NBA players go on to have long, illustrious careers. On the contrary, others have careers that are cut short for a variety of different reasons, but mainly due to injuries. When players have nothing else left in the tank to give, when they become mentally, physically, and emotionally fatigued with the grind of the NBA season, when their bodies are no longer able to recover from injuries, or when they realize they've accomplished everything they wanted to during their careers, then they make the conscious decision to retire and to move on with their lives. It's part of the game. Probably one of the most noteworthy examples one can use to illustrate this principle is Brandon Roy. Brandon Roy was selected the 6th pick in the 2006 NBA draft and was acquired by the Portland Trail Blazers on draft day via a trade. His impact in Portland was immediate. Roy, selected as a Rookie of the Year in his first NBA season, was a reserve on the Western Conference All-Star team in his second season, earned another All-Star selection while placing 9th in MVP voting in his third season, and at the start of his 4th NBA season, signed a 5-year max contract. Roy was poised to be an NBA superstar for many years to come. Unfortunately, his playing career was cut short. Brandon Roy had been battling chronic knee problems since college, and in December of 2011, he announced his retirement from basketball. His knees had degenerated so much that he lacked cartilage between the bones in both of his knees. The face of the Trailblazers franchise, who seemed destined to go down as one of the league's greatest players and whom Kobe Bryant deemed as having no weakness in his game, was leaving the game at the age of 27 and after only 5 seasons in the NBA. Roy did attempt to come back in 2012, but he only played in 5 games before having a season-ending and ultimately career-ending surgery on his right knee. After the season ended, he stated, in reference to retiring, "It is never going to be easy, but it is a little smoother knowing I gave it a try and now it's time to move on." In 2016, Roy became the head coach of Nathan Hale High School in his hometown of Seattle, Washington. He had led the team to a 29-0 regular season record and was named the Naismith National High School Coach of the Year, a tremendous honor for any coach, let alone first-year head coach. Even though he needed to retire from playing, even though the need for him to retire from playing was hard for him, Roy found another way to have an impact on the court in the form of coaching and working with youth. At some point, we are all going to have to retire from situations that no longer accurately represent who we are and who we aspire to be. The longer you stay in a situation that stagnates you, the more likely you are to block the blessings that God has in store for you. If you are unhappy, walk away. Leave. If you have given everything you have to something or someone and your efforts are unappreciated and unproductive, at that point you need to throw in the towel and pursue what it is that will bring your life joy and peace. Easier said than done, right? Trust me, I know all about it, as you will soon find out. It's tough to let go, especially when we have become accustomed to and comfortable with the way things are. However, when you do walk away from something that no longer accurately reflects the person you want to be, you will gain a restored sense of self. A burden that has been weighing you down for so long will be lifted off of you, and you will be able to exist in a space that brings you joy and peace. And as a result, that which you truly want and will make you happy has no choice other than to show up in your life. Back in 2001, I enrolled in a doctoral program because I had a goal of getting the most formal education I could possibly attain in my field of study, in addition to wanting to become a university professor. Yeah, right. That's a bold-faced lie. I enrolled in the doctoral program solely because even after receiving my master's degree that year, employers in my field still would not hire me. So, in order to further improve the likelihood of getting a job in my field, and to keep receiving a couple dollars per year for being a teacher's assistant, I enrolled in the PhD program to become more attractive to prospective employers. At the beginning of the second year of my doctoral program, I was extended a job offer in my field of study. But even after I began working for my new employer, I remained in the program. Part of me did not want to abandon something that I started. I didn't want to be a quitter. Another part of me did not want to let down my family, advisors, friends, and those who looked up to me. I wanted to make other people proud. However, none of these reasons had anything to do with my own genuine desire to complete the program. I completed my main objective, to get a job, yet because I refused to let go, I suffered internally and was unhappy for years. I was putting time, energy, and money into something I didn't believe added any additional value to my life, and that did not line up with my long-term plans. As a result, I was neglecting the things I really wanted to do, and that would be fulfilling. Finally, after 6 years of going back and forth, in and out of the program, I exited the doctoral program for good. It proved to be one of the best decisions I have ever made in my life. I was now able to put in my time, energy, and money into my passions. I expanded the reach and scope of my nonprofit organization's mentoring program. I started the Shoot Your Shot blog, and I was also able to put in the necessary time and effort to complete this book. Had I unhappily remained in the program, I would not have been able to do those things. My life is much better off after making the decision to let go of something that did not bring me happiness and that did not align with what I wanted to do in my life. Be cognizant of when it is time to relinquish control, to let go, and to just leave it into God's hands. Don't waste away years of your life clinging on to something that no longer fully represents you. Lean on your faith, knowing that God will not forsake you and that something greater is in store for you. It is your time of angst and uncertainty. What you need will be supplied to you. Separate yourself from anything that no longer allows you to be the best version of yourself. Only then can you begin to see the things that appear in your life that will truly make you happy. It's difficult to give up, especially because we've been taught since we were young to never give up. But if something no longer brings you happiness or it causes you continual pain and you've done the work to make things better to no avail, then you have to let it go and move on. Don't lose everything chasing nothing. Don't block your blessings clinging to the past or to the things that do not bring any value to your life. If you continue to hold on to what could have been, you fail to open yourself up to what could be.